Hello engineers! In this video lesson we are going to create the 3D model and technical drawing for figure 8.34. Go ahead and fire up Autodesk Inventor. Click on New Part. This part is in millimeters, so we notice that because it does say metric in a little box here. Go ahead and go to Tools, Document Settings, Units. Make sure your length is set to millimeter. Apply close. Click on the 3D model tab. Click on Start 2D Sketch. And then click on the XY plane. Go ahead and click your rectangle tool. Draw two rectangles like so. One is connected to the other. Go back to your drawing and let's see, we're going to start with the height here. So it's 25 millimeters tall. Click dimension. Click the top line, click this bottom line, type 25 for 25 millimeters. Go back to the drawing, and I'm quickly switching between the drawing and Autodesk Inventor by holding down Alt and pressing Tab on the keyboard. My left hand is always on the keyboard in order to do either escape or press some numbers or use Alt Tab. The length here is 65. Click dimension. Click the longest line there, that will be 65. The 33 here, let's do that one next. From the edge to this edge is 16, so let's do that one next. The height from this edge to this edge is 9, so click this edge, and that's going to be a 9. And I believe that is all the dimensions I need. So 25, 9, 65, 33, 16, and 65. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want to get in the habit of centering our parts with the origin. Might be later in Dell. Click on the coincident constraint here. Click on the origin point. And then click on the midpoint of that bottom line and it'll move your part to the origin. And then you'll notice in the bottom right it says fully constrained. That's a good thing. We always want to fully constrain our sketches. Finish the sketch. You'll notice I didn't trim this. That's okay. You can trim it or not. Either way, the extrusion is going to be 103. So I'm starting off by just building the base. I've ignored any circles for now. So I'm going to click extrude. Click the little guy and then the smaller one, or the larger one. I'm going to go in the direction of the part here so I can sort of match it. The length is 103. And I'm going to click on that home view cube. Now we need to notice some other dimensions. The center of the circle, this circle feature here, this cylindrical feature, is 33 millimeters away from the edge. So on this side, I'm going to click New Sketch, click the Circle tool, and go back, and it says the radius of that is 19. So I'm going to click on the edge there, and it's already set to radius. If it's not, right-click, make sure that this says radius. If it says diameter, switch to diameter. Now I want it to be on radius. Radius is from the midpoint to the edge of the circle. So that's 19. Click dimension, click the edge, click the center of the circle, and that was 33, just like that. And what I want to do is actually want to trim that part of the circle. And just to be cautious, I'm going to draw a line from that edge to this edge of the circle. I'm going to finish that sketch. I didn't project any geometry. It sort of automatically did that. And then in the sketch here, there's no extra projected geometry. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw on the opposite side another half circle. If you were to have projected geometry, that might have given you some problems. So let me just demonstrate what I mean, or how to get rid of a problem in case it is a problem. So I'm going to edit that sketch. If I would have clicked project geometry and then projected the surface and finish sketch, Now you'll notice there's a little plus button next to the sketch, and there's that projected loop. So if I ever need to get rid of a projection, I think this is the only way to do it. You have to edit the sketch and then open it up like so. Well, actually I'm not in edit. I'm in just regular mode. Click that little plus, you'll see the projected loop, and then, oh yeah, okay, so right click, I can't do anything to it. I can measure it. So this is what I mean. You're gonna right click, edit sketch, and now you can right click on that loop and delete it. So sometimes we need to get rid of our projected geometry because it might be interfering with other geometry. It might mess up an extrusion, it might not loft the way you want it to loft. So sometimes the projecting geometry doesn't work the way you want it to work. Now let's repeat on the other side. We're going to go to the left side, right click, new sketch, and we can assume that that 33 is the same on this side, and we can check the angle later. So let's draw another circle on the edge there with a radius of 19. Dimension the edge to the center to be 33. Trim the bottom of the circle. And just to be cautious, I'm going to add a line closing that half circle. Typically, we would want to add both of the features, that way we can save some time, like the holes that are eventually going to be put into the sides here, like the drawing here. But with the loft feature, it's a little janky, not gonna lie. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on how we set up our sketch. So hopefully the way we set it up here now is gonna work exactly the way we want it to. And then we can worry about adding that hole in the next step. So with the two half circle shapes dimensioned and ready to go, this should be very easy. You're gonna click on that loft command, and you're gonna click on your half circle, and then you'll click on the second half circle, and you see it should just automatically work very nicely like that. Click OK, and boom, you have your exactly the features that you're looking for. And then the next step, we can add those holes. So now new sketch, and here we can project geometry. So click project geometry, click the half circle, and that way we can get our center. Click on the circle command and find that center. Those holes are 16 in diameter, so it's set to radius right now. I'm going to right click, click diameter, click 16, finish sketch. I'm going to go around to the other side and repeat that process. Beautiful, finish sketch. And now we're going to do loft again. So click loft. And this time we're cutting. So click on that cut button. And we're going to highlight that circle and click it one time, and it should automatically fill it in. Might be a different color on your screen. And now I'm going to do the same here. And click OK. And there you go. You have your hole, your lofted hole. And the next should be pretty straightforward. We're going to add the two holes and the fillets here. So the fillet has a radius of 3. I'm going to click on fillet, type 3 to get that in there, and then move my mouse to that edge. Click the view cube to find this edge, click, and click OK. Then I can add these two holes. It looks like they're centered. So that's 32.5. And to make that life a little easier, I'm going to right click, new sketch on the surface here. I'm going to use the point. I'm going to click point and click and click. See how it sort of centered it? But let's just make sure. All right, I'm going to actually flip this like this, because yeah, from here to here, that should be 32.5 automatically. And then what's the distance? It's 14 away. So from the edge to here, that should be 14. And then from the bottom to the point should be 14. And and they should be all lined up. And if we want to check that, let's use, this is vertical constraint. Click the point, click the point. Okay, now it's fully constrained. Beautiful. Finish the sketch. Of course, you can just use circles and then extrude cut the circles. I'm doing it the more proper way, if you want to call it that. And the holes, it's a through hole and they have diameter of 13. So now I can click on hole and make sure this is just a simple hole, no seats. We're going to go through all, and the diameter is 13, so I'm going to change that right here to 1, 3. And see how it's doing both of them at the same time? And click OK. Our next step, let's give this material. So go to File. Well, actually, first step should be Save. So click Save. This is figure. One thing about when you're saving files, if you put a point like 3, 4, that's okay, but it might think it's a file type. So I put a dash. Okay, so figure 8-34, and then I'm just going to put example, because I've made this many times before. Save. Let that save. And now go to File, iProperties. Your iProperties menu is going to pop up. Click on Summary, add the title, so that's figure 8.34. The author is your name. Subject is engineering. Company is KHS. Then click on the Project tab. Part number, change the part number to figure 8.34. Designer, that's you. Okay, make sure you have the creation date set. Status, go to physical, the physical tab. That's where you can adjust the material. You can also adjust it up here. I like to adjust it in here, I don't know why. We're going to do aluminum 6061 and apply, close. And then do one more save, click save. For this specific figure, we're going to forget that we have custom template. We're going to go ahead and use the drawing templates that are provided. Go to New Drawing, and we're going to go ahead and set up our sheet. So right click on Sheet 1, and we're going to then click on Edit Sheet. The size should be set to A, and click OK. This ANSI large, this is the text box. We're going to get rid of that. So right click, delete, and then go to drawing resource to drop that down. Click on title blocks to drop that down. The ANSI A, that's the smaller size. We're going to right click and insert that. So you'll see that it is a little smaller. You'll also notice it automatically will add who it's drawn by, the date, the size of the sheet. We want that information. Then click on Base, and you should get your drawing view menu popped up, and you should see the front view pop up here. That's the front view that we drew in the 3D model. So if I click on front, that's what is going to automatically show us here. However, it's not actually the best front view. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the view cube to spin it to the right side view. That gives us more information, and if you recall from previous lessons, the best front view is going to give us the longest length or the most details or like combination of those things. So we're going to use the right side as our front view. So place that in the left side, then click your top view, click your side view, and then in the top right, click your isometric view. We're going to move this later. It's okay that it's off to the side. And we are scaled at 1:1. That will not fit. Drop this down, and let's see, we don't have a 3/4, so we actually want to change the scale. We're going to type 3/4, and that's going to make it a scale that will fit on our sheet size. Click OK. Now move your isometric view so that it fits. And I want this isometric view to match our drawing. So hover over that, and you're going to see very light outline. Double click it, and click on this right here. So it'll look like it's showing back, and then click OK. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Double click on it again. We also want it to be shaded, so click on that shade button and click OK. Now let's go ahead and add our dimensions. I want to make sure that our dimensioning tools are set to ANSI MM. So that's Tools, Document Settings. Active standard should be ANSI MM. Apply, close. Click on the Annotate tab. Click on Dimensions. Start with your major dimensions, so that's length, height, width, or length, height, depth. Going to click on the corners. Drop that down, and then the circle and the corner. Drop that down there. We're going to start with this circle dimension and then this circle dimension. You'll notice when you see an actual full circle, it'll automatically give you diameter. If you don't see a full circle, like a half circle, it'll give you a radius. So that's another little tip. The front is, the dimensions are done. We need to add the center marks. So click on the center mark tool and then click on the radius. That'll give you kind of like an automatic, there you go. And then the center lines for these holes. So you're going to click on, it's called centerline bisector. You're going to click on the edges of the holes and it'll automatically give you a nice center line. Click on dimension again. And we need to click on this right here, this midpoint, and then the bottom corner here. Bring that out, and then this one, and then this one, and bring that out. We got to fix the orientation of those. Let's do that right now. So I'm tapping Escape, and I'm going to right click on that dimension, and I'm going to click Edit Dimension Style. And it's going to pull up this menu here. So we should already be in the habit of this. I'm going to uncheck trailing zeros and then click on the text tool. This is the menu here. We're going to click on that, drop it down, and we want it to say inline horizontal. That's this one right here. I also would like to update the font style. So I'm going to click on that little pencil tool. Yes, save the edits. Tahoma, yeah, that's a fine font. I prefer the Technic font. And then just a shorter height. And then save and close, and there you have, it looks a lot cleaner now. Might not feel like it's making a difference, but it does make a difference. Dimension, we got a dimension, oops, Escape, spacebar, that 33 there, and then this corner and this corner, and roll it out. Okay, so that is, we need the center line for the hole. Okay, now let's go to the top view. I'm going to put these center marks. These center marks are not great. I'll show you how to fix those now, actually. So, double tap Escape, right click on the center mark, and click on Enter Center Mark Style. And here, I'm sure there's like an exact chart. I don't know right off the bat, but I like to do, oh man, I like to just do 2, 2, 2, 2, and see what happens. Save and close. And that actually worked out beautifully. So this is the ideal center mark. You need a nice little plus with lines going across, and that's it. That's the most perfect center mark you can get. If you need to play around with that, then again, edit center mark style and play with these numbers. So I do it in millimeters. If you're working with a part that's in inches, still do it in millimeters. Just type mm. Okay, center line bisector. Click on these two lines to get that center line there. Click dimension. Click the corner and then click the circle to get this 14. And then click the circle and this edge, I'm sorry, not that edge. Click the two circles, circle, circle to get this 75. And then click on the center line and then this edge to get that 60. And here we have a problem. It should say 60 point, or it should just say 60. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to that one. There we go, 60. Haha. How did I do that? I just double clicked it, changed the precision to 0. Okay. Why did I do that? Well, this is why. It gave us an angle of 60 here, but it gave us that 33 there. So I assumed that the corner here and the circle here was 33. So I should fix that, but it's too late to fix that. So we're going to leave it as is. This is a part that I don't care about. If this was like something going into a bridge, a car, a vehicle, then obviously we need to be extremely precise and make sure that that angle is actually 60 degrees. This is just a technical course showing you to make the part. This specific part, this part doesn't, I don't think this exists in anything. It's a strange part. You're just learning skills with this part. So next time we'll be extremely precise and make sure that the angle is the actual angle. Click on dimension, click on this circle, and click over here. And we need to add a note here. So double click on that, click on the text box, and you on the left side of these brackets, and you want to type 2 with a capital X and a space, and you'll see it gives you that 2x. And what that means is it indicates that there's 2 holes with that diameter. Click dimension. We're going to click on the height here, and then the circle and this edge. And I believe, and then we need to add a metric note. So click text, click and drag a box, and you're going to write in all caps metric. Highlight it. Let's make it large. Click OK. Escape, escape. We're going to move that. Let's move that to right there. There we go. And then let's go ahead and click save. Save it as the same file name as the model, the 3D model. Then go to File. Come on. iProperties, Summary, Title, Figure, all caps, Figure 8.34. Subject Engineering, Company, KHS, Project. Again, part number should be Figure 8.34. And apply, close, and you'll see it updates your title block. Save again. To submit this, you need to submit the PDF. Hang on. Go to File, Export, PDF, and save that, and you're going to send me the PDF. So that's how you'll submit your work. It would also be nice for you to print, so press Control P. Make sure you're on the correct printer. Also make sure you're on Best Fit, and click OK. And it should print. Make sure I see it. I could sign off on it, grade it on the spot. I have a communication error because I'm not on the correct network. So also make sure you're not on a hotspot or a VPN or anything like that, because then it won't print. If you get stuck on any parts of this video, please make sure to ask questions.